been a misunderstanding because the African countries argue that because there were threats to international peace and security arising out of the region and out of the terrorist attack in Westgate, therefore Article 16 was given. But this is a misunderstanding of Article 16 of the Constitution. The ICC, by definition, operates in an environment of conflict where there has been crimes against humanity. So by definition it's operating in conflict situations where there were threats to international peace and security. That is true of all the cases for the ICC. Article 16 is a different matter. Article 16 asks the question, would continuation of the case against President Kenyatta and Vice President Ruto in itself constitute a threat? In our view, as I said, it's an explanation.
Why not give the benefit of the doubt to some of the African ambassadors that asked to the regional group, effectively, the African community that was solid in its request for this, simply a deferral.
But this comes to the second issue, which is that the Security Council is not the right venue for this discussion. It is very surprising and disappointing that the Africans decided to bring this to a vote 5 days before the Assembly of State Parties, and indeed after the preparatory vote, in which countries are participating, has already started on proposals to change the rules of procedure, including some proposals to amend the Constitution. Now, those discussions have been very constructive. There have been several meetings in New York. Those meetings are now moved to in preparation of the main Assembly. And we hope that they will be able to address a lot of the African concerns. And we ourselves, the United Kingdom, have said that we will behave extremely constructively, we will negotiate constructively in the Assembly of State Parties, and we encourage other countries to do the same. Indeed, we have put forward a proposal ourselves that the use of video conferencing should be seen as present under the statute. This would meet the main concern that has been put by Kenyan lawyers over the last year or so, that President Kenyatta will have to go to the Hague and be able to undertaking the trial. So it's odd that the vote was called just before
Why was your proposal to have a statement not accepted? Why would they have called it that when there was a proposal for
Well, I think you'll have to ask them that question. You heard
what
what I said in response to the question.
What was the proposal?
Well, we had suggested that if there needed to be a response from the Security Council in advance of the Assembly of State Parties, then we could devise a presidential statement or a press statement which would say that we had looked, we had listened, carefully respected the concerns, that we understood Kenya's important regional role, that we understood the Westgate, but that in the absence of consensus over the use of Article 16, we would encourage the Assembly of State Parties to take up the issues in the meeting. Now, that was the proposal designed to show that the Security Council was responding to the African request. Because one of the criticisms that the ministers made when they came to New York last month was that on previous occasions the Security Council had responded in different ways. So we were trying to see whether there was a way to do it, but unfortunately that wasn't agreed. They decided to go to
But it was mainly the African countries that didn't want the compromise, some P5 countries that they wanted.
well,
I mean,
some,
one P5 country for the China.
yes,
Well, no, I mean, they were the ones who said they were interested in
well, the compromise wasn't accepted by White House and the other states who were presidential resolution. So clearly we couldn't proceed with it because it's by consensus that decided they wanted to focus on the resolution instead, so they didn't engage at all on the draft.
On it not being a threat to international peace and security, I mean, some point out like Haiti, for example. What's the threat there? I mean, it seems to be a pretty. Is there a constant standard, and should the Council just defer to the African Union on what's a threat to peace and security in Africa?
It's a very important point that the relationship between the African Union and the Security Council is better than it's been probably, certainly in my time here in New York. That when we had the meeting in Addis Ababa just last month, there was agreement on a wide-ranging communique between the African Union, PSC, and the United Nations Security Council in a way that proved very difficult when we had the same meeting 2 years ago, and indeed when we had the meeting last year here in New York. This time there was widespread agreement, and one of the reasons for that is that Africa is beginning to come up with solutions to African problems that the Security Council is happy to support and endorse, and we've seen that in a whole range of different areas, Sudan and South Sudan, and the ambassador of Ethiopia set this out. Somalia, Mali. Now we're looking at the Central African Republic. So the idea that there is somehow lack of support for the African Union PSC by the UN Security Council is completely wrong. You know, the European Union pays a high percentage of the costs of the African Union. We all work very closely with the African Union individually as countries, and we do with the Security Council. So I hope that this will not damage what is actually an extremely good relationship, and as I say, probably a closer relationship today than it's been in the 4 years.
And what's next? They seem to indicate that they might be coming back for something.
Well, I think next is next week in the
Right,
Assembly
but then after that, here?
I wouldn't imagine they'd come back to the council.
Some of them said they were done here. Some of them said they were done.
What do you think their relationship with the ICC will be? Do you think that the 34 African countries are members might withdraw? Or?
I hope not. I don't think that is the case. We hope that President Kenyatta and Vice President Ruto will continue to cooperate with the court as they have in the past. We hope that African countries who are state parties will negotiate and engage constructively in the Assembly of State Parties next week, and that we can collectively reach some agreements which will actually help resolve the concerns that Kenya and African people have. Certainly that would be our purpose, and that's what we're going to be working for over the next couple of weeks.
Some in this.
Thank you very much.